A lot of people have made a video about this next exercise already, but most of them, including me in the past, forgot to mention a couple of simple points that are actually crucial to connect the dots and to make this exercise actually useful. So this is what we are gonna aim for today, and I'm not going anywhere until I explain everything you need to know to get better at reaching tricky chords and positions. First I'm gonna show you the exercise, then I will explain it, and finally I will give you some actionable tips and tricks how you can adapt it on your own hands. So as you saw, you have these 7th chords. You stack your fingers up in the 12th position on one string at a time, one by one, starting from the pinky. And basically what you do is that you just put one finger lower, one fret lower at a time. You pick the chord you get and then you move forward just one finger at a time. A couple of things you want to do before this exercise is to warm up, because you really don't want to start this exercise with completely cold hands. It feels terrible. I tried it, believe me, it's not good. So make sure to warm up, and if possible, make sure to stretch a little bit after it or after you finished practicing. It's going to feel really good, and it's going to have some benefits in the long term. You also want to play this exercise with as relaxed hands as possible. I know it sounds terrible, but try to find the least amount of stress you need for this exercise. And actually, you don't have to stretch the entire hand all the time. You will feel that the part that gets, where the gap gets bigger is going to be the part that will stretch the most. So you need to focus on that part, but the other fingers don't have to work as hard as those two, right? The next one is something I cannot stress enough, and it's going to be to relax your hand between the chords. Now, if you pick the chord or if you pick a string, you will see that it starts doing this, woo! But over time, within just seconds, you will see that the amplitude of the string is getting smaller and smaller. So that means that you need to apply less and less strength on the fretboard, right? As the sound fades away, you need to apply less pressure to maintain the clarity of the chords. Now, what does that mean to us? It means that as soon as you pick the chord, you can start to release the tension of your left hand. You can start to relax it until a point when you just barely push the chord. You don't need the same amount of pressure at the beginning of the chord and at the end of the sound, right? You actually can experiment with this, so just try picking a chord and start to release the tension slowly and gently, and the second you start to hear a buzzing, you know that, okay, this is too little pressure, I need to apply just a little bit more than this, just a tiny bit more than this. And you need to look for that, that fine line, that very thin line when you're right on the edge of the buzzing, no buzzing thing. Try to think about the angle of your entire arm, because if you are pulling it up sideways like this, it's very very hard to stretch. So instead of pulling it up like this, try pushing the entire arm from below, from under a little bit, like this, like what I do, because it will follow the natural angles of the hand, of the fingers, and it will help you with this entire stretching. Whenever I play something very stretchy in a piece, I try to think about how can I involve not only my related fingers into that part, into that situation, but also how can I involve my lower arm, my entire arm, and even my thumb. Think about your thumb position. It doesn't have to stay at just one position. You can play around with it. You can replace your thumb as needed. What I also like to do is to choose a finger in each position, and that's going to be like an anchor finger. Like I put most of the weight on that one finger. It's usually my third finger for me, so I find a finger that can bear the heavy weight mostly, and the rest of the fingers can relax a little bit more. I also make sure to utilize the opportunity that this is not a stretching position. So every time I go back to the main position, the starting chord shape, I make sure to relax my hand as much as possible to prepare for the upcoming effort. Oh yeah, and one more thing, please be very, very careful when you do this exercise, because it's a high risk, high reward exercise, meaning that you actually can hurt your hand if you are not careful. So when you do this exercise, make sure to listen to your own body, because I'm not taking any responsibility if you mess up your own hand. You have to be careful, and you have to increase the level gradually. You don't have to do the entire exercise all at once from the very first try. Maybe you feel like, okay, I can do it comfortably until fret 8, but I still can do it until, I don't know, fret 5. That's great, that's fantastic. You don't have to go all over until the first fret. Just gradually increase the difficulty on it, because if you are not careful, you will hurt your hand. So as soon as you feel pain, no argument, just stop it. Stop doing it. Just stop. Please just be careful, that's all I'm trying to ask. Alright friends, I hope I was able to clarify a couple of things around this exercise. I hope it makes a lot more sense now, but if you still have questions, just let me know in the comments and I will do my best to get back to you and to explain it as good as I can. Now, if you feel like you got some value here today, please consider to support my work on a monthly basis on Patreon. You will find a link down below in the description box. And also, if you need some help with your warm-up routine, check out this video here where I cover it pretty well. But also, if you need to improve your foundations with some exercises, here's my favorite 11 exercises, and I can tell you that this video have helped thousands of people to improve their classical guitar skills. I really do hope to see you there. Thanks for watching and see you in a bit.